Okay, so after you have laid down some text, and I do recommend doing a lot, and again, like I said, you can be inspired by anything. I'm doing a fairy tale, but that's what I love about this project. It's so versatile. So the next step is to use some more watery gesso. So this gesso is a little bit more thinner, so you can see it kind of drips pretty easily compared to the last batch I had. And you could still use the thicker gesso as well. So it's just kind of a combination. And what you want to do, and you want to be careful, because when I first did this with students, they like just, coated the whole thing and pretty much obliterated, their stuff. So just kind of be careful and do it kind of light. You want to kind of have a light touch like I am, and so it kind of, you can kind of see the text, and it does smear a little bit. And you don't have to do the whole thing, but just be very sparing. You could even, drip a little bit if you wanted to. So again, just, and again, have fun with it, because the thing is, if you do obliterate something, you can always draw over it, and that's the point of it. I like this too because it teaches you not to get too attached, and it also, I think, frees you up a little bit. I think especially when you're beginning drawing students are sometimes, it's hard to loosen up, I think. I'm sure though Emily's showed you some techniques though with like gesture drawing and things like that. So you guys could, pick something from drawing one that you really like say you like perspective drawing. You could do, after this dries, a perspective drawing on top of this. You can also use different size brushes too. So maybe I do want to kind of obliterate certain parts completely. So a mixture of different size brushes, and I think I have them here. And I wouldn't use nice brushes. I would stick to kind of crummy brushes. So this gesso is pretty thin, so it does, a lot of the stuff does show through. And I might go over it again with some thicker gesso. So here's the thicker gesso, and that works too. But again, just be careful and don't freak out. And don't freak out about how this looks. They kind of look bad when you first start. So I'm going to stop there. And then this is where the hairdryer becomes useful, or working on two at the same time. So what I do with my students is I'll have them go dry this, or if they just want to put it aside and start another one, and they can kind of go back and forth. That's a good way to do it too. So I'm going to use the hairdryer. The hairdryer is nice too because it can also kind of push the gesso around. Now with watercolor and other things like that, if I don't like using a hairdryer because you don't want to push. If you've done a really nice watercolor, you do want to kind of let it dry naturally, I think. But this kind of technique, where it's kind of messy and you're just kind of going with it, I think it's fine. All right, I will be back. I might coat this a little bit more. And again, it's just kind of your preference. But again, it really is a layered process. So basically we're going to gesso, maybe write some more text. You can even start drawing on the second layer, and then add more gesso, dry, repeat, and just keep doing it until you build this really layered drawing. And I'll show you some examples too. I think they really turn out well. All right, see you in a little bit.